Why high-achieving women and professionals struggle with weight, and it's not discipline. Can I say something that might feel a little controversial? The reason you're struggling with your weight has nothing to do with discipline. Nothing. I know that's hard to believe because you are disciplined. You run companies, you raise families, you show up for everyone. You are not lazy. You are not weak. You are not someone who just needs to try harder. So why does it feel like your body is working against you? Hi, I'm Dr. Dona, youth and adult psychiatrist and board certified in obesity medicine and the owner and founder of Dona Wellness Clinic. On this channel, I talk about all things mental health and wellness related. And yes, that absolutely includes the connection between your brain, your hormones, your stress, and your body. If you're new here, welcome. Subscribe right now so you don't miss what's coming, because this series is going to connect some dots that no one has connected for you just yet. Okay, let's get into it. Here's what I see constantly in my practice. Women come in accomplished, driven, smart, and professionals, and they are completely bewildered by their bodies. They're doing everything they've been told to do. They're eating less, they're exercising, they're tracking, they're trying, and the scale just isn't moving. Or it moved for a little while, and then they gained it back, plus more. And the story they've told themselves, or that someone else has told them, is that they just don't have enough willpower. That if they were more disciplined, this would work. Here's what I want you to understand. High-achieving women and professionals are actually at higher risk for weight struggles, not because of the lack of discipline, but because of what high achievement can cost your body. That same drive that makes you excellent at everything you do, it runs on a stress response. And that stress response, when chronically activated, does very specific things to your metabolism, your hormones, and your brain. Let's talk about what's actually happening. The main character here is cortisol, your stress hormone. When you're under pressure, deadlines, responsibilities, always-on culture, caregiving, your body releases cortisol. Cortisol is not bad. You need it. It helps you perform under pressure. But here's the problem. Your body cannot tell the difference between a work crisis and a physical threat. When cortisol is elevated, your body thinks you might need to run or fight. So it does a few things to prepare you. It raises blood sugar for quick energy. It slows digestion. It tells your body to hold on to fat, particularly around your midsection, because fat is stored fuel, and it increases your appetite, especially for carbohydrates and sugar, because that's what your body thinks it needs to survive. So you're stressed, you're craving sugar, and your body's holding on to fat. You eat something because of course you do, and your body and your brain literally demanded it, and then you feel guilty about it. That guilt, more stress, more cortisol, and the cycle continues. This is not a willpower problem. The sleep and hormone connection. There's another piece of this that doesn't get talked about enough, especially for women in their 30s, 40s, and 50s. Sleep deprivation and hormonal shifts dramatically affect weight, and high-achieving women are often dealing with both at the same time. When you don't sleep enough, and I mean quality sleep, not just hours in bed, your hunger hormones go haywire. Ghrelin, which makes you hungry, goes up. Leptin, which signals fullness, goes down. You wake up already fighting against your own biology. And then layer perimenopause or menopause on top of that, and estrogen shifts change where your body stores fat. They affect insulin sensitivity, they affect mood, and they affect energy. So you're running a company, managing a household, or both, and you're not sleeping enough, your hormones are shifting, and then someone tells you to just eat less and move more. No wonder none of this is working. If you're listening to this and realizing this sounds familiar, you're not crazy, and you're not alone. There are providers such as myself who look at these things more holistically, and that matters. So let's talk about the mental health piece that no one mentions. And here's where it gets really interesting, and where my background as a psychiatrist becomes relevant. The relationship between mental health and weight is bidirectional, meaning it goes both ways. Depression slows your metabolism, disrupts sleep, kills motivation, and changes your appetite, sometimes making you eat more, sometimes less. Anxiety keeps your stress response constantly activated. Then there's the emotional eating, which is not a character flaw, it's a coping mechanism. Your brain learned that food, especially sugar and fat, provides temporary relief. It releases dopamine. It genuinely makes you feel better for a moment. When you're feeling overwhelmed, when you're running on empty, when you've given everything else to everyone all day long, your brain is going to seek reward. And food is accessible and fast and legal and socially acceptable. Addressing the mental health piece is not separate from addressing weight. It's central to it. I recently worked with a woman in her early 40s, executive role, 2 kids, but only sleeping 5 hours a night. She had tried 3 diets in 2 years. What shifted everything wasn't a new food plan. It was stabilizing her sleep and addressing underlying anxiety. So what can actually help? And what do you do with all of this? First, stop framing this as a discipline problem. That framing is keeping you stuck and making you feel worse about yourself, which ironically makes the biology worse. Second, start looking at your stress load seriously, not as something to push through, but as something that is actively affecting your metabolism. What can be reduced? What can be delegated? What boundaries need to be set? Third, protect your sleep like it is medicine, because for your brain and your hormones and your weight, it genuinely is. Fourth, get support that looks at the whole picture. A provider or doctor who understands that your brain, your hormones, your stress, and your body are not separate systems. They are one system. And that's the kind of care that I can provide, and it's the kind of care that you deserve too. Here's what I want you to leave with today. You are not failing. Your body is responding, predictably, biologically, to what it's been through. The fact that standard advice isn't working doesn't mean you're broken. It means that advice isn't addressing what's actually happening. You deserve care that does. So if you're ready to get a real evaluation of what one looks at, including your mental health, your stress, your hormones, and your weight together, I can also work with you at Dona Wellness Clinic. We offer telepsychiatry and telemedicine so you can access care from wherever you are. There's a link in the description below. But also know too, that if you just want general support that looks at the whole picture, mental health, stress, hormones, weight, you can learn about my practice below, but whether you work with me or not, I hope that this gives you a new way to understand your body. And drop a comment. I want to hear from you. Does this resonate? Have you been told it's a discipline issue when you know something deeper was going on? Tell me. I read every comment. If this was helpful, give it a like, share it with the woman who needs to hear it, and subscribe for more. I'm Dr. Dona. Thank you for being here and take care.